And welcome back to The Wrap. Let's read some of your viewer comments. First up, we have some comments on, you'll never guess who, not Donald Trump, Kim Davis. Here's one from Will who says, to those who say, well, there are other countries where same-sex couples could not get married or could get married, why not go to one of those countries instead of complaining about Kim Davis? I must ask, would you have told the same thing to African Americans, that they could drink from their own fountain, that they could live in their own area, they could use their own bathroom? You have the right to practice and advocate for your religion all day long, but when it comes to imposing your beliefs on another person is when it stops being religious freedom. You have a puzzled look in your face.
Yeah, I was having a really hard time figuring out where they were going. I think I understand, and I think I probably agree with them.
I think so too. Go on.
Here's one from Levon who says, Kim Davis has been jailed without breaking any law. Incorrect. The Supreme Court does not have the authority to make or pass a law. The fact that it violates the state's rights of at least 37 states that ban same-sex marriage by overturning the laws does not mean that the Supreme Court has the authority to force those states to allow same-sex marriage. I'll leave aside what the Supreme Court has the authority to do and not do, but just so you're clear, she went to jail because she was in contempt of the court's order. That is absolutely a staple under our system. He could have done other things if he chose to, but he did choose to put her in jail, and that is a judge's prerogative.
Okay, and John says, and he agrees with Rick Unger, I think Mike Huckabee is correct. You had lawyers not elected pushing an agenda to make law. It's opposite day, by the way.
Yeah, but it's opposite. I would say that you need to take that up with the founders who created that system. David says, it is my understanding that SCOTUS only ruled Section 3 of DOMA to be unconstitutional. They did not rule against the DOMA definition of marriage to be one man and one woman. Congress has made no law making same-sex a federal right and has left the issue to the states. So I am wondering by what legal authority the judge has sent Mrs. Davis to jail. Am I missing something here? Yes, you are. The Supreme Court has the right to interpret the Constitution. Congress cannot pass a law that's unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has said that barring same-sex marriage is unconstitutional.
Okay, and we have a comment from Mark about Rick saying that the Bible says you must follow the law. Quote, having Rick quote the Bible is like having Al Capone comment on tax law. Capone went to jail for that, by the way. I saw The Untouchables. Just go to the book of Daniel and read about Daniel being put into the fiery furnace for civil disobedience. I can give many other examples, such as Jesus. Top that, Unger.
I'll just say this. You give me too much credit. Al Capone knew tax law far better than I know the Bible.
I guess. All right, you're up next.
Oh, really aren't I? Okay, here's a comment from Joe about Donald Trump. Knew he'd get in here. Regarding Donald Trump's wall, if you put your mind to it, there's nothing that can't be done, especially in this our free country. A lot of Southern Republicans are disagreeing with you. You might want to take a look at that. They say you can't, in fact, build a wall coast to coast.
Really?
Yeah.
It's 1,900 miles long, I believe, the Trump wall.
They're saying it's not doable, and these are Republicans.
Great Wall of China's pretty long. I never looked it up. And they built that, what, like 500,000? I don't even know when they built it, but it was a long time ago.
I'm just citing these Republicans down there, so, you know, what do I know about wall building?
He's a builder.
He's a builder.
Okay, Ants, I wanted to get your opinion on this because I don't think we talked about this.
On the wall?
On the wall. In other words, if you were to build it, it is akin to building a wall from Key West to Maine. That's a long wall.
Right.
So is it impractical?
I think it's impractical. I think that Jeb Bush's idea that you need to have a lot of technical ways to do it, using technology, using other ways to have a virtual wall perhaps, but a true wall I think is probably impractical.
Hirschfield?
It's completely impractical. Nothing's impossible. The question is it wise? Is it actually the best way to secure the border? And when you ask most people under calm circumstances, is that the best technology we have, an early medieval version of the Great Wall of China, the answer is clearly no.
Yeah, that's a good
that
point.
doesn't mean border security is unimportant, but let's not pander to the insecurity by building a wall that we don't need. Let's build the safeguards we do.
Would the Chinese build the wall the same way if they were building it today?
Of course not.
Probably not.
Right.
Good point, Brad.
I think it's symbolism, though, right, with Trump, that, look, we need to strengthen and we're going to build
He
a
just
wall.
likes
People
to
are
build.
frustrated. No, people are frustrated.
If he gets the financing.
Yeah.
Frustrated and scared. You know, they're seeing a lot
And
of things
that's
happen
real.
in this country, and they're frustrated and scared. And a wall sounds good because it keeps
Right.
the bad people out. And
Except
so
that
that's-
it doesn't.
But that's the idea behind it.
This was the summer of Trump. Quickly, lightning round. Do you think this will be the fall of Trump as well, or has he peaked? And we've said this about 1,000 times that he has. So be
He's
careful.
getting more and more serious in his answers, and I would not consider him done by a long shot.
Better candidate now, Heather?
Definitely a better candidate, but I don't know that he hasn't peaked anyway.
Okay.
getting better, still saying a lot of silly things and getting into unnecessarily silly fights.
Who ultimately catches him or beats him?
I don't know. I mean, I am taking it very seriously now as the possible Republican nominee.
Amazing.
And as a Democrat, I'm okay with that.
I'm sure you are. Wow. Trump Sanders, wouldn't that be interesting? Or Trump Biden for that matter. Anyway, remember, if you want to weigh in any of these issues we talk about here in the show, be sure to go to newsmaxtv.com/comments and let us know what you think. And be sure to get your copy of Ben Carson's book, One Nation, absolutely free. All you have to do is pay $4.95 to cover the cost of shipping. That's 1-800-655-7567, 1-800-655-7567, or visit newsmax.com/Ben right now. Ben is second in the polls, by the way, we should note, except in New Hampshire, where John Kasich is. Anyway, next up, it's time for Yay or Nay. It's happy time. This is the Daily Wrap.